Hello dear students, I am here with the next chapter of your syllabus. This time this is chapter Indigo from the book Flamingo. Here on the screen you will see class 12th, name of the book Flamingo, name of the chapter Indigo, and name of the writer Louis Fisher, as well as the picture of Mahatma Gandhi and our national flag. On the left side at the top you can see picture of Louis Fisher. He is Louis Fisher actually, who has written this chapter about Mahatma Gandhi. This is a chapter about an incident that had taken place in Champaran district of Bihar, right, before independence. And Louis Fisher had seen the things and observed the things very minutely. So he has described them here in this chapter. Then on the left side, second picture is of Rajkumar Shukla. Rajkumar Shukla. He was a simple farmer. He was an ordinary peasant from Champaran district. And it was he who had brought Mahatma Gandhi to district Champaran of Bihar so that the problems of the peasants could be solved, because the peasants had been in problem there as far as the crop of indigo was concerned. Indigo is a crop which was produced by the peasants there. I will tell you about Louis Fisher in the next slide. Let's see about the author. He was born on 29th Feb 1896 in Philadelphia. He had and Pennsylvania, United States. Philadelphia had been his birthplace. He died in the year 1970, 15th January in Princeton, New Jersey, United States. His nationality had been American. It was American. And awards have been given here: National Book Award for History and Biography, Non-Fiction, for Non-Fiction. And his education was from Central High School, South Philadelphia High School. Louis Fisher was an American journalist. Among his works were contribution to the ex-communist treatise, The God That Failed, A Life of Mahatma Gandhi, a basis for academic award-winning film Gandhi, as well as A Life of Lenin, which won the 1965 National Book Award in History and Biography. The famous American journalist Mr. Louis Fisher came to India in May 1942. He was in India for 2 months. The world was in full swing. In the scorching heat of June, he spent 1 week with Mahatma Gandhi in his ashram. Gandhiji gave him 1 hour daily. He could also talk with Gandhiji during other activities such as eating, walking, etc. Fisher wrote a book, 7 Days with Mahatma. In this famous book, he has described the ashram life and Gandhiji's likes and dislikes in a very touching way. He wrote that he never felt afraid in Gandhiji's presence. His association with Gandhiji was warm, healthy, full of joy and cordial. He found Gandhiji a cultured, able and always a refreshing and sweet person. Louis Fisher has described the wonders of Gandhiji's personality in the book. Similarly, many persons stayed in this ashram from time to time. So because he had observed the incidents and events very minutely, so he has described them here in this chapter. It was about author. Now introduction to the story, to the chapter. In this story, Louis Fisher describes Gandhiji's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran, who were the sharecroppers with British planters. Means British had been the landlords and the local peasants of Champaran had been sharecroppers. Means they were producing the crops in the lands of the landlords, and they had to pay something in the form of rent, okay, to grow crops in their fields. So they led a miserable life. Peasants were leading very miserable life and were forced to grow indigo according to an agreement. An agreement had been signed, had got signed between the landlords and the peasants. And under that agreement, they had to grow indigo there, and they had to submit all the yield in the form of tax to them, and they were dying of hunger. They suffered a great injustice due to the landlord system in Bihar. Gandhi waged a war for about a year against their atrocities and brought justice to the poor peasants. So later on, Gandhi, when reached there, he waged a war for almost a year for these peasants, and he brought justice to the poor peasants. How? Let's see in the summary. Here are certain characters you will find here in the book, in the chapter. Rajkumar Shukla, as I showed you the picture, he was the main person in the story, because if he had not gone to Gandhiji to see him, and if he had not requested Gandhiji to come with him to Champaran, then the condition of the Champaran peasant would have been miserable and miserable. So this person had gone to Gandhiji to bring him to Champaran. He was a sharecropper like other peasants. He was an ordinary peasant. Then you will find Charles Fair Andrews. He was follower of Gandhi, who had requested Gandhi to stay in India. If Gandhiji allowed, then he would like to be on his side. In Quit India movement or in some other movement, you will see in the text. And then Kasturba, she, you know the name, she was wife of Gandhiji. Devdas, he was youngest son of Gandhi. Certain characters you will find there in the chapter. There are other names also. Now let's begin with the summary. Dear students, I am telling you the summary only, and it is your duty that you have to go through the text line to line. If you won't be going through the text, then it will be difficult for you to answer the questions, because this time there will be MCQ type questions, and MCQ type question may be from any incident of the chapter. It may be about the author, it may be about the title, theme, or any incident or character or setting. So you should be knowing everything, and for that you are supposed to go through the text. All of you have to go through the text, and if you find any problem, then you may make call. You may send a message to me. So let's start the summary. Louis Fisher met Gandhi in 1942 in his ashram in Sevagram. Gandhi told him that how he initiated the departure of the British from India. So Gandhi had narrated the tale to Louis Fisher, about how he had started the departure of British from India. He recalled that Gandhiji, while narrating the incidents to Louis Fisher, he remembered that in 1917, at the request of Rajkumar Shukla, a sharecropper from Champaran, he visited the place. Gandhi had gone to Lucknow to attend the annual meeting of Indian National Congress in the year 1916. What happened in the year 1916? Mahatma Gandhi had gone to Lucknow to attend the annual meeting of Indian National Congress there. And Shukla told him that he had come from Champaran to seek his help in order to safeguard the interests of the sharecroppers. So Shukla told him that he has come from Champaran and he wanted his help so that the sharecroppers could be provided help. Their interests could be saved. Their interests could be protected. Gandhi told him that he was busy. So Shukla accompanied him to various places till he consented to visit Champaran. So at that time Gandhi had been very much busy and he denied that I could not come with you. But Rajkumar Shukla said that whenever you will be free, I would request you to come with me to Champaran, and I am not going to leave you any more until you get free. So wherever Gandhiji went, he too went with him. And he stayed with Gandhi until he consented to visit Champaran. His firm decision impressed Gandhiji and he promised him that he would visit Calcutta at a particular date, and then Shukla could come and take him along to Champaran. So in this way the meeting was fixed that Gandhi told him after 1 year that I will be visiting Calcutta on so and so date, and you have to come there and you can take me with you to Champaran. Shukla met him at Calcutta and they took a train to Patna. Gandhi went to lawyer Rajendra Prasad's house. Rajendra Prasad, you know, he was the first president of India. So Gandhi went to lawyer Rajendra Prasad's house and they waited for him. In order to grab complete knowledge of the situation, he reached Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1917. He was welcomed by Professor J.B. Kriplani and his students. So he did not directly reach the venue where he had to start his work. First he met with certain acquainted people and he just wanted to get or collect the information about the case, about the problems. He just wanted to be sure about the problems as well as the accurate data about the problem. So he first went to Rajendra Prasad's house and then he reached Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1917 to get the complete knowledge of the situation, and there he was welcomed by Professor J.B. Kriplani along with his students. Gandhi was surprised to see the immense support for an advocate of home rule like him. Now he was advocate, means he supported home rule. Home rule, you might have heard, Swaraj, means only the government of our people, not of the Britishers. And he was very happy to see that many people supported him. Otherwise, the people, they used to be against the people who used to advocate home rule. But their people, they supported him. He also met some lawyers who were already handling cases of sharecroppers. Now when he reached, there were already the trials were going on in the courts, and these peasants had hired certain lawyers. So Mahatma Gandhi first met with those lawyers who were handling cases of sharecroppers. As per the contract, what was the contract? 15% of the peasants' land holding was to be reserved for cultivation of indigo, the crop of which was given to the landlord as rent. So 15% of peasants' land holding was to be reserved, means they had to cultivate indigo on that land, and that crop was to be given to the landlord as rent. Now the question was what the poor peasants would eat. This system was very oppressive. Gandhi wanted to help the sharecroppers. So he visited the British Landlord Association, but he was not given any information because he was an outsider. Now he had come from Sevagram, and this was the case of Patna, Bihar. And the maximum people, they didn't know, they hadn't heard about the name of Mahatma Gandhi. They only knew that a person had come, some Mahatma has come from Sevagram and he is their champion, he will be fighting for them against the Britishers. So when he went to the British Landlord Association, he was not given any information because he was an outsider. He then went to the Commissioner of Tirhat Division, who threatened Gandhi and asked him to leave Tirhat. Then he went to Tirhat Division Commissioner, and there he was threatened by the office of Commissioner that he should leave Tirhat immediately as he is an outsider. Instead of returning, he went to Motihari. Now Mahatma Gandhi decided that he will not return. He went to Motihari. Here he started gathering complete information about the indigo contract, which was signed between the sharecroppers and the landlords or the Britishers. He was accompanied by many lawyers. One day, as he was on his way to meet a peasant who was maltreated by indigo planters. He was stopped by the police superintendent's messenger, who served him a notice asking him to leave. Gandhi received the notice but disobeyed the order. Now what happened? One day he was going to a village to meet a peasant, because that peasant was tortured or he was maltreated. He was exploited by some landlord. But when he was going, while sitting on the back of the elephant, he was stopped by the police superintendent's messenger. And that messenger served him with a notice, and that notice said that he has to leave, he cannot go to that village. Gandhi received the notice, but he disobeyed the order that I am not going to leave this place. Okay, this is my country and nobody can order me in my own country. A case was filed against him. Now, because he denied that he was asked to leave Motihari or Champaran, so he denied, so a case was filed against him. Many lawyers came to advise him, but when he stressed, they all joined his struggle and even consented to go to jail in order to help the poor peasants. So many lawyers went to him. They advised him that he should get back, he should return. But when Mahatma Gandhi stressed, he told them that I will not be leaving this place. Rather, you should not ask me to do this, because these peasants are your people. So then all the lawyers, they joined the struggle, and even they got ready to go to jail in order to help the poor peasants. On the day of trial, now there was trial of that case which was filed against him on a day. On that very day of the trial, a large crowd gathered near the court. It became impossible to handle them. It became impossible for police to handle them. Gandhi helped the officers to control the crowd. Gandhi gave his statement that he was not a lawbreaker, but he disobeyed so that he could help the peasants. So Gandhi gave the statement that means it was difficult for the authorities to control the crowd, because there was a large crowd that had reached there. Some had come through some conveyance or some others on the foot, and they had come to support their champion because he was in trouble. So it was difficult for the authorities to control them. So Gandhi himself controlled them, and he said, he gave the statement that I am not a lawbreaker, but I have only disobeyed so that I can help the peasants, because humanity comes first. I will serve them first. Law breaking is a different thing, but I am not breaking any law. I will leave when their interests have been protected. I will leave. They have been reserved. Gandhi, he was granted bail, and later on the case against him was dropped. Because there was a large crowd, he was granted bail, and later on the case also was dropped. Gandhi and his associates started gathering all sorts of information related to the indigo contract and its misuse. Then again he started the work along with his associates. All the information regarding this case, regarding this contract were collected, and how the contract was being misused, every detail was gathered. Later, a commission was set up to look into the matter. After the inquiry was conducted, the planters were found guilty and were asked to pay back to the peasants. Now, later on, a committee, inquiry commission was set up, and Mahatma Gandhi was the sole representative on the part of the peasants. And after this inquiry, the planters were found, means the landlords were found guilty, and they were asked to pay back to the peasants. Expecting refusal, they offered to pay only 25% of amount. Now, they were not ready to pay any amount to the peasants, but anyways they got ready, because Mahatma Gandhi allowed. They offered to pay only 25% to the percent of the amount. Gandhi accepted this too, because he wanted to free the sharecroppers from the binding of the Indigo contract. Now the thing was, this question is oftenly asked, why did Gandhi accepted that 25% refund to the peasants? Mahatma Gandhi got ready for even for 25%. Actually, he just wanted to finish the fear of the authority from the minds or the hearts of the peasants, because they were very much crushed and afraid, fearful people. They were always tortured, they were threatened, so they were always afraid of them. Now Mahatma Gandhi just wanted to convey that refund is not that much important, but what is important is that they have to surrender. These authorities have to surrender the money along with their prestige. These people, they had to surrender the money as well as their prestige, and that was very important for the peasants. It was important thing. So he got ready for this. He opened 6 schools in Champaran village. So in this way, this matter was sorted out, and those peasants were provided the justice by the efforts of Mahatma Gandhi. Now Mahatma Gandhi saw that the condition of the people of Champaran was very poor, very bad, and they were also not living in very hygienic conditions. There was not any facility of schools, hospitals. So he thought that he should do something extra for these people. So he opened 6 schools in Champaran villages, and volunteers like Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh and his son Devdas taught them. These people also came to help, and they started teaching them. Kasturbai, the wife of Gandhi, used to teach personal hygiene to the ladies. Later on, with the help of a volunteer doctor, he provided medical facility to the natives of Champaran, thus making their life a bit better. Doctors were also invited, and the medical facilities were given to them. You will see in the text all the details, what were the medicines given. Okay. A peacemaker, Andrews, peacemaker, pacifist he was actually, pacifist. A peacemaker, Andrews, Sir Charles Andrews, wanted to volunteer at Champaran Ashram, but Gandhi refused, as he wanted Indians to learn the lesson of self-reliance. He also wanted to support Gandhiji, but Gandhiji said that in this battle of injustice, do you think it would be good for us Indians, for we Indians, that an English should take our side? So in this way, he was denied any support. Yeah. So because Gandhiji, why did Gandhiji do this? Because Gandhiji wanted Indians to learn lesson of self-reliance. They should have confidence in themselves, self-reliance, so that they would not depend on others. Gandhi told the writer that it was Champaran's incident that made him think that he did not need the Britishers' advice while he was in his own country. So Louis Fisher, Gandhi had told Louis Fisher that he had, from the incident of Champaran, he had learned that nobody can order him in his own country, as well as he had taught the peasants of Champaran the lesson of self-reliance and self-dependence, and not to be fearful of anyone. Okay, so it was all about the summary. It was very short summary, dear students. You are supposed to go through the text. I am time and again saying it is an advice. You should go through the text. Then only you will be able to understand the things in detail. Now about the theme. The main theme of the chapter Indigo by Louis Fisher is how effective leadership can overcome any problem, as shown by Mahatma Gandhi in securing justice for oppressed in Champaran through convincing arguments and negotiation. So, effective leadership is required if the solution to any problem is needed. So, effective leadership was of Mahatma Gandhi. He had shown such an effective leadership in Champaran For what? In securing justice for the oppressed people, for those who are already crushed in Japan. And how did he do so? He did so through convincing arguments and negotiation. So rather than involving in any kind of violence, he did the work through convincing arguments and negotiation in Champaran. Now, justification of the title, whether the title is correct or not. The title Indigo focuses our attention on the issue of exploitation of indigo sharecroppers at the hands of cruel British planters. The British compelled them through a long-term agreement to plant indigo on 15% of their land and surrender the entire harvest as rent. Means they could cultivate, they could plant indigo only on the 15% of their land, and whatever will be the yield that was supposed to be surrendered, means entire harvest was to be surrendered as a rent to the landlord. And the condition of these peasants was getting miserable day by day. They were dying of hunger. After the development of after what happened? A synthetic indigo was developed by Germany, and when the Germany developed that synthetic indigo, then there was no need of indigo to be planted by the peasants. And now these landlords wanted these peasants to be free, to get free from that contract by paying them some money, because their indigo was not needed anymore after the development of synthetic indigo by Germany. The British planters extracted money from the peasants as compensation for being released from 15% agreement. This was the case. After development of synthetic indigo by Germany, the British planters extracted money from the peasants as a compensation. They wanted to have the compensation from peasants. For what? For being released from 15% agreement. The peasants who wanted their money back filed civil suits. So now these farmers had to go to the court. So they filed civil suits, mean trial started. Rajkumar Shukla persuaded Gandhi to take up the case of indigo sharecroppers. So indigo sharecropping exemplifies the injustice of British and Indians' submission to British authority. Champaran movement that centered on Indian sharecropping led to the social and cultural upliftment of the peasants. Thus, the title Indigo is highly suggestive and appropriate. Okay. Now, message of the lesson. The message conveyed of the story is that it is not impossible to conquer. Means the victory is not impossible. It is not impossible to conquer and win over the powerful. If the people get together and fight against injustice, no power in the world can stop them from achieving what they desire. So the only thing is, there should be unity among the people. They are supposed to get together and fight against the injustice. If they will do so, then no power in the world can stop them from achieving success, because nothing is impossible to conquer. So it was the message given by this lesson. Now, dear students, here are multiple choice type questions, MCQ, because I have started this taking such sort of questions from this lesson, as you know that now the pattern of the question paper has changed, and 50% of the paper, means of 40 marks paper, will be in MCQ type questions. So you have to make practice of such questions also. So I have certain important questions which you haven't seen here in the text. You won't find the answers to these questions in the text. They are extra questions. You have to prepare certain such questions along with the questions related to the title, theme, incidents, setting, and the characters of the chapter. So let's see, where was the author born? Now I had discussed it. but you won't find it in the, probably in the beginning it you may get the answer to this question about the author where it would be written. Where was the author born? He was born in Philadelphia, in Yugoslavia, in Scotland, none. So I had discussed it. He was born in Philadelphia. Option A. Question 2. When did the author serve in the British Army? Now there was no such discussion there. So you have to keep it in mind. That author had served in British Army in the year 1918 to 1920. Option A. Okay. Now, which university was the author a member of? Means the author Aloysius Fisher was also a member of one university. Which was that university? That was Princeton University. Option B. Now, Indigo, question number 4. Indigo is an excerpt from which book of the author? Means this lesson is not a complete story. It is an excerpt. It has been taken from one of the books of the author. And that book is option C here, and the Life of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. Then question number 5. What is the message conveyed in the lesson Indigo? I had discussed it. That is wise. First option is efficient lawyers. No. Speak aloud. No. Wise and courageous leadership can resolve any problem. And fourth is none. So right answer is option C. Then where was Champaran? So I had discussed it. Champaran is a district of Bihar in Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Sorry, not in Uttar Pradesh. Sorry. I had told a district of Bihar in British India. Okay, British India. It is very much near Nepal. Who was Sir Edmund in Indigo? Who was Sir Edmund in Indigo? He was a British lawyer, a British businessman, a British politician, an administrator in Indian civil services. So the correct answer is an administrator in Indian civil services. Okay. Then where was Sir Edmund posted? In East India, in Purvanchal in Uttar Pradesh, at Bihar or Orissa province, in Bengal Presidency of British India. So right answer is D. At Bihar and Orissa province in Bengal Presidency of British India. I will also provide certain other MCQs for you to make practice, as well as you are also requested to search certain such MCQs and prepare them. Dear students, here the homework to be written in your notebooks by you. Please note it down. You have to pause the screen and then you may write down the answers to these questions. Why did Gandhiji agree to planters' offer of a 25% refund to the farmers? This was the question I had told you is very important. I think this question has been repeated here. Question number 4 is the same. Why did Gandhi agree to the planters' offer? How was Gandhiji able to influence the lawyers at Champaran? How did Gandhi help the peasants of Champaran? How did Gandhi agree? The battle of Champaran is won. When and why did Gandhiji exclaim this? Why did Gandhiji feel that taking the Champaran case to the court was useless? What made the Lieutenant Governor drop the case against Gandhiji? How did Rajkumar Shukla establish that he was resolute? What were the terms of the Indigo contract between the British landlords and the Indian peasants? Why was Gandhi opposed to Charles Frere Andrews, helping him in Champaran? Okay, so this was the homework which is being assigned to you. You have to do it in your notebooks. So now keep studying and please read the text time and again. It is being emphasized. Read the text, then only the things will get clear. So thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck. Thank you very much.